Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Phoenix Resurrection, The Return of Jean Grey, issue number 5 of 5. Guess what happens in this issue? Yeah, the Return of Jean Grey actually happens. It's in the title, man. So check this out. Matthew Rosenberg, I'm convinced, writes the meanest, most awesome Old Man Logan. Granted, this was a very short little part for him to play, but oh, he got this good. He got this down packed. So Old Man Logan goes in to have this conversation with Jeannie. And of course, to the side is Annie, which is actually the Phoenix. Yeah. And this does seem to be the white hot room. I mean, again, not absolutely, but there is the part where she says, where the Phoenix is talking to her later on and says, listen, when you're in this place, and she's cycling through different areas, different worlds, different versions of Jean, but very specifically, the panel where she says, this place, that's where they're showing the white hot room, and Jean Grey is in her white crown Phoenix version. So yeah, they don't need to fully answer it, but it seems that's the case. It's just the idea of seeing the other X-Men all being able to pile in there and hang out. Like, they might as well have a freaking tailgate party and pull out the smorgasbord, because like they're just literally hanging outside. Anyway, so Old Man Logan is in there and he's trying to order some coffee, and he keeps on saying like, "Hey, don't touch her. What are you doing? You're coming in here making threats. You're coming in here messing with my employees. You need to get out of here." And she walks a little too close to OML. So Old Man Logan cuts her neck. Yeah. Andy drops to the ground and she's dead. But what happens with phoenixes? Well, they rise from the ashes. So she gets back up. Jeannie's freaked out at this point, but when she sees Annie get back up, she's like, okay, what's going on? And Old Man Logan's funny. He's like, by the way, the coffee tastes like garbage. Except it was actually an expletive. So, yeah, Phoenix is actually really upset right now, but she's too busy trying to explain this to Jean. Meanwhile, Wolverine, Old Man Logan, he gets up in Jean's face and he says, Jean, do you remember me, yes or no? I need an answer, Jean, and I need it now. And it's funny because they pan down to his claws, and they're just a little bit peeking out. He's about to play his favorite game if she gives the wrong answer. His most unfavorite game, but the game that he plays all the time with Jean Grey and other Phoenix forces. He's about to play just the tip. So, his own version. So, she blasts him away because she doesn't want to get stabbed. but yeah, she's okay. She is Jean. And the Phoenix tries to cycle through all these different versions of her and starts trying to have these conversations like, listen, I am the Phoenix. I'll resurrect everyone for you. But they are all illusions. And Jeannie knows this. One person who isn't an illusion who comes back, though, is Scott. Now, this could have been kind of good, but to me it was more cheesy than anything else, because I almost felt like it's fine. The writing was fantastic on it, but I look at it as Scott was kind of pathetic here, because it is Psycho Scott, who did actually die because of the Terrigen Mist. And when push comes to shove, this is the Scott who, even while Jeannie was alive, chose Emma over Jean. So yeah, him saying, I always loved you, and I missed you so much, Jean, it was almost like it was just a plea, please let me come back alive. But they have the conversation, and of course she does the thing, take off your visor, your mask, don't worry, open up your eyes, it'll be fine. That was a little bit redundant, but it was okay. It was okay because you don't see it all the time. So in the end, he, of course, has to die. But as he's about to die, what does she say to him? We were better off dead. Which means, guess what? The cycle of life and death, the cycle of this comic book, it completely turned in on itself. So we actually have a comic book that's kind of like a Mobius strip. We were better off dead, you remember? That was what was said in the very beginning of the first issue of this comic book 6 weeks ago. Wow. I actually got a little choked up for just a second, the briefest of seconds. All right? That was good. This comic book gets an A+. This was fantastic. This was amazing. This was a great comic book. All right. Matthew Rosenberg deserves to be writing a lot more X-Men. Like, just whatever he wants to write, give it to him, because he's going to do a good job. And I think the fans are going to be happy. So this is the Jean Grey I love. And she literally talks down. And I'm not, placating. I'm not talking metaphors. She actually talks down the Phoenix into this little tiny thing, and then just... And it was kind of sad. It was kind of beautiful. It was cool, because the Phoenix is talking to her and trying to plead with her, saying, don't get rid of me, please. You need me. I need you. And it was just so, wow, it was great. It was great. But Phoenix basically talked it down and said, you got to do you, I got to do me. All right. And I should have just died in that shuttle way, way back in the day. I have that comic book, by the way. So this was great. This was absolutely fantastic. So Jean Grey is back. We're good. Guys, don't forget to check out issue number 11 of 11 for Jean Grey, the regular series. That is actually out this week also. Yeah, that's kind of a mini conclusion, a separate conclusion. Anyway, that's it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.